Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. During this pandemic, do you also dream of a vacation with your family when everything is over? If you do, then stay tuned for this video. In this video, I'm going to share with you guys some tips and tricks for traveling with an infant or a toddler. Before I get started, I would like to put on a disclaimer. I am in no state an expert in the matter because Ira is only 2 years old and I've only had one kid. But we've been traveling with Ira ever since she was 3 months old until she was about 2 years old. So we've brought her everywhere with us. So I thought that we've learned some things and we wanted to share with the tips and tricks with all the moms and dads out there. In my experience, there are 3 key things when traveling with an infant or a toddler. Number 1, you have to have the right mindset. Number 2, you have to have the right company. And number 3, you have to have the right gadgets. Let's talk about having the right mindset. If you're used to traveling before you had your kid, then you had a certain expectation of things that you do, the activities that you carry out when you're on your trips. But with an infant or a toddler, you have to recalibrate your expectation of a trip. I'll give you an example. If you're used to enjoying in-flight entertainment during a long-haul flight, then you have to recalibrate your expectation. Number 1, is your baby going to sleep during the flight, and will you be able to enjoy some in-flight entertainment? Maybe yes, maybe no. Number 2, will your baby get upset during the flight, in which case, on top of not being able to sleep, you will have to spend a lot of time soothing them. There's a lot of videos and tips and tricks, especially on in-flight traveling with a toddler, so I'm not going to go into detail about the flight itself, but the most important thing is that before you actually start your trip, you need to know what the trip is all about. The trip is all about having fun with your family, and it's not necessarily about you getting some rest. Of course, it's good to get some rest, but that will not be the main focus of the travel. Another important thing to remember is also the activities that you have planned for the trip. If you're used to putting like so many things to be done during the day because you want to make full worth of your money, then you will have to recalibrate your expectation. 1, will you have actually enough time to complete everything with a baby around? And number 2, is your baby going to like being outside for more than, for example, 12 to 14 hours? Some babies actually just like being out for a lot less than that, and some babies don't mind. Number 2, you have to have the right company. I think this is true even if you're not traveling with an infant and toddler, because having the wrong company could completely ruin a trip. But of course, this is more important when you have a toddler or an infant. Having the right company could mean family or close friends. It depends who are the closest people with you and who would enjoy traveling with you and your toddler. Now, this is important because, referring to number 1, recalibrate your expectation. Your travel companions also have to recalibrate a bit of their expectation. If you can only go out for about 8 hours a day, that means your travel companions will also be going out for 8 hours a day. Or you're close enough with them that when you go on a trip, they don't have to spend every second with you. So it's the sort of thing where you can tell them, look, I'm running a bit late, the baby is a bit fussy, I need to feed the baby first. Why don't you guys go ahead and I'll meet you there? Now, for some like travel companions, they might not like this. They might like to get everything done as per the itinerary. But this might not be possible if you're traveling with a toddler and an infant, because they have their own schedule. As much as you try to fit your schedule into their schedule, sometimes it's just not possible. And having the right company And the right travel companion means they will understand this and you will be able to enjoy the experience without feeling that you have ruined the experience. Because the last thing that you want is to be the only couple with a toddler during a trip and everyone is upset because they can't go do things without you and you feel like you've ruined their trip as well. Now, number 3, this is important as well, and it might require some research on your end, but it's to have the right gadgets. Now, I'm going to try and insert a clip or a picture of me using these gadgets with Ira, and I'm going to try to link down below all the gadgets that I actually used. The right stroller need to have these 4 criteria. Number 1, it has to be lightweight. Number 2, it has to be portable. It has to be foldable, and it has to have good wheels. When traveling, especially to a foreign country or to a place you've never been before, you don't know exactly how it's going to be. You might not be able to take your stroller where you want to go, for example, into a museum. You might not be able to take it with you, so it has to be foldable or portable that you can carry it around, or sometimes they have a place where you can put your stroller. It needs to have good wheels because you don't know the surface that you're going to be walking in. So if you have like a 10-kilo baby on your stroller and the wheels on the stroller is not good, then all your effort and stamina will go into trying to get the stroller to move. Number 2 is to have baby carriers or baby wrap. Depending on how old your infant or toddler is, you might want to have both around or just one. When Ira was 3 months old, we only traveled with her baby wrap because that's how she sleeps. So she would sleep with me and we would walk around and it was very easy. A wrap is just smaller for you to like carry around, and a baby carrier is a lot bulkier. So sometimes you don't want to have your stroller with your baby carriers because that's just too much to lug around. But sometimes you would want to lug them around because you know that you're going to go to a place where they won't allow strollers in, and it's easier to have the baby or the toddler in your baby carriers rather than a wrap, because for a wrap it does get tiring after a while if your baby is heavy. So having the carrier is the right choice for you. The next one, which I think is important, is a good diaper bag. Now, a good diaper bag for me is usually the one that I can carry and my husband can carry them. It also has to be able to double as a carry-on, because if you're traveling, for example, in a flight or in a ferry, you don't want to be lugging around like 3 bags with your baby on top of everything because you want your hands free. So a good diaper bag for me is a backpack that's big enough to put all the baby stuff and some of our stuff. For example, we would have our phones, our wallets, and our passports, for example, in the bag. That way, my hand will be able to either carry the baby or push the strollers, and one of the other hand will be free to do other things. For example, get the passport from the bag, get the phones, and all those things as and when we need to. The last gadget that I discovered during our last trip is a foldable or a portable high chair. She's used to being strapped because she's used to being put in a car seat. So when she's strapped, she's a bit calm and she sits down. She doesn't try to crawl around. So this portable and foldable high chair completely saved our trip. We were able to have lunch and dinner like in the time that we've allocated, which is about 45 minutes to 1 hour. If you have any more tips and tricks that you've also gained from your traveling with your toddler and infant, please share them in the comments down below for everyone. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video.